Batman and Robin, issue 10, legacy number 76. Joshua Williamson writing with Simone DeMeo and Nikola Jameshka on the art.
We're getting better. We're getting better at that name.
Yeah. So this is just me reading this out of the two of us.
Yep.
So this actually wraps up the whole Man-Bat story, this issue. And it's not a bad issue. I think there's some nice pages in here that sort of build up. I think it does kind of exemplify my feelings with Williamson as a whole, though, which is that I always feel like he has ideas, and then instead of like exploring the ideas as much as he could, he just finishes the idea and moves on. And I kind of felt that here again to some extent in a few different ways. One being that this was the first issue at all that I remotely get into what Man-Bat was doing. This whole plan to unleash bats across the city. That part of it with the poison bats, I'm not that excited by it. But what was fun, though, was Batman and Robin chasing him through the rooftops and fighting his followers. The action scenes were good. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we're going to build up to, like, things all, you know, crescendoing to some big showdown or something, or whatever. And, you know, it cuts to Flatline taking Shush to the hospital because she's hurt from last issue. And, you know, all that is fine. But the thing is that by the end of this issue, they have just beat Man-Bat, and relatively easily. Man-Bat's whole threat doesn't even really come into play. Instead, Shush gives Flatline a gun that has gas pellets in it, right? It was the same stuff that made all the bats target Batman in the first place. So she gives it to Robin, and Robin throws it to Batman when he's fighting Man-Bat. So he fires it, so this gas like swarms around Man-Bat, and then all the bats come and attack him, and it forces him to transform back into Kirk Langstrom, and that's it. So it's over quickly, and the pages are good. Like the page with all the bats biting Man-Bat is a pretty cool page, right? Especially since you've got the red eyes of some of the bats, but you've also got the red little splotches of blood coming off Man-Bat himself. It's you know, it's a solid couple of things, and then Robin fires the Mr. Freeze's gun at all the bats, because Damian's really concerned this issue that he doesn't want to hurt the bats. He wants to cure them and stop them from hurting anyone, but he really doesn't want to hurt them. Which I'm not against, but it just kind of feels like whatever. But yeah, all of the stuff that we spent so much time setting up with, you know, the head teacher being Damian's old trainer, like, that's it. It's over, because, like, she revealed herself last issue very quickly. And in this issue, she's been taken away by the police. That's it. So, while it still teases that we're still going to maybe have Damian in school occasionally, like, he's not going to leave, it doesn't sound like we're going to be focusing on that in the next arc. The next arc's going to be on Dinosaur Island, because Damian's bat creature, was it Goliath, shows up at the end.
Goliath, I was just talking about him.
Yeah. He shows up at the end. Damian's all happy to see him, but he's got like a little device with a message from Henry Descartes' granddaughter, Maya, who's like, hey, Damian, I found him. He's not dead. And then the last page is Bane sitting on top of a dead dinosaur on Dinosaur Island. So,
oh, it's on site with Bane now. You don't be touching the dinosaurs. Damian loves animals, right? Like, that's what we know. Bat Cow, Goliath, Ace. I'm sure they have a cat.
I'm sure the dinosaur tried to eat him, okay? I'm sure it was self-defense.
You can run away. Bane, you juice head.
Bane's not going to run away. You know this.
Yes, I know.
So, I mean, the other thing of note, really, is, like, Flatline and Damian having this big goodbye, where Damian's like, oh, did you just come to Gotham to, like, deal with your sister? And she's like, maybe, and kind of smiles, and, you know, runs off. But she does not tell Robin, because she wanted to come to Gotham to tell Robin that she's seeing dead Ra's al Ghul, right? Because she's being haunted by Ra's al Ghul's ghost. And when she runs away, Ra's al Ghul pops out and says, you didn't tell him about me. And she's like, oh, I can't burden him. Damian needs to be protected from you and from me. So clearly we're not done with Flatline. It's building to more story with her, which is fine. Honestly, one of the best things that Williamson's ever really done is Damian's relationship with her. Yep. So hopefully that does come back in a big way. But it seems like we're pivoting hard left next arc to this Dinosaur Island story, which is potentially good, potentially a fine thing. I just feel like you spend so much time building up that one of the teachers might be this villain, and it turned out two of the teachers were someone.
This is what Williamson does, though. He sets so many things up only to let it down.
Yeah, like, once we knew the head teacher was this you know, League of Assassins trainer person, like, and she'd been training a few select boys to be badasses, like, I could have done a whole arc with Damien going to school where he knows who she is and she knows who he is, but they're like, you know, like holding back.
Chicken.
Yeah, they're playing chicken and they're like trying to like outsmart each other. Like, I see so much potential in that being a plot line, but it's just already over, and that's it. So Williamson once again doesn't know how to like explore the ideas he brings up. He just brings up the idea and then quickly moves on. And
it's a shame because a lot of his ideas are good. Like maybe he just needs to stop writing for a second and be an editor, you know, and let's flesh out these ideas. Because, like you said, I would want to read that book. If this got closer back to Robin, like this is sounding like I might jump back on for Dinosaur Island, you know, or jump on. I don't think I ever actually read the first issue. Anyway, you know, because I like Goliath and the whole, you know, Bane versus dinosaurs thing is whatever. Those are some great ideas.
Yeah, I just feel like he's a kid who plays with toys and gets bored before he has time to actually.
So when you're looking at like a comic geek, you can click on like user reviews. And this is the kind of, I guess, the summation of Williamson as of late. And it says, yeah, so this was the conclusion of the arc. Makes sense. Was it good? Was it terrible? No. And I feel like that's been Williamson in a nutshell for a while.
Yeah, it's something that's becoming more apparent the more I read from him, is just how much he just moves on from things without actually exploring them. And it's another guilty thing here. The art is pretty solid throughout. There is a difference between the two artists, which is noticeable, but it's not too bad ultimately. The styles fit well enough together.
Are they split per the story? So like the Man-Bat stuff is more
no, not really. No, I wouldn't say so. It just kind of shifts over at a certain point. Basically, by the time you get to the end of the Man-Bat fight, I think we've switched over to the second artist.
Okay.
And then from there on, I think it's just them for the rest of it.
Dang.
But, I mean, some of the art is nice. The Man-Bat being swarmed by bats is good. The stuff with Bruce and Damien having a late breakfast on the roof because they want to bond, and then that's when Goliath shows up. Like, some of those pages do look nice. Like, there's a full moon behind Goliath when he appears. So, I mean, this is thoroughly just an okay book. And although the things that annoy me about Williamson's writing are only just going to continue to like annoy me more, I feel like the more he keeps making the same mistake, the more I'm going to be annoyed at him. But as it is, it's fine. It's a 6 out of 10.